Hello everybody. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Sorry, I just got through eating, so I hope I don't have food in my teeth. um, so I was watching Tara a little while ago, and there was a guy on there, and the title of his message was people. This is what people want to know about you. And basically, what he was saying was that people want to know, and I don't think he was talking directly to me, but I kind of felt like maybe he was. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't trying to be like, oh, they're talking to me, and none of that. But I know that I do have a lot of high energy, and the question he was asking is basically, how could somebody who's gone through everything that I go through have such high energy? And I was going to tell you guys why. My entire life, I've never felt like I fit into this world. I've always known that there was something more. I was teased growing up. There's videos explaining all of that. But at my age now, when I look back at my life, I can see every time God helped me through my life. The number one reason why I can say so positive, honestly, is because of my grandson. Both of them. My eldest grandson, the day he was born, he wasn't even 24 hours old. And he was in the special NIC unit. And he was a C-section. He was premature. My daughter had gotten induced and was in labor for 2.5 days. They finally did a C-section because I showed them what a mama bear can do. And because I was livid at that point. She went in on Monday, and my grandson was not born until Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So I was livid because she has high blood pressure. She got preeclampsia. And her blood pressure at one point, her top number was over 200 and her bottom number was like 150 something. So she was like heart attack mode. And that day I told the doctor, you either get her in labor now or I'm taking her to another hospital today. And he said, I guarantee you she's going to have that baby before I left. And he was right. She did. But my grandson, my eldest grandson, he had one of those nasal caps on him, and they popped his lung. The hospital did. They never called my daughter. My daughter was still in the room or in the hospital, and they never told her what happened. But my grandson made it. He has a lot of health concerns. He's allergic to everything. We don't know, and I think I mentioned this in another video, that we think he might have celiac disease because we found out a couple years ago that my daughter did. But, I mean, that was the first thing. The second thing was my youngest grandson. After his incident, God showed me every step of the way and every single day that he has been alive. I've had a look at a miracle in my life every single day. The fact that when the hospital told us that he would never walk, he would never jump, he would never sit up, he would never roll over, he would never crawl, he would never feed himself, he would never see, he would never hear, he would never talk. I looked at the doctor and I said, you know what? My God will heal him. Straight up. And the doctor kind of looked at me funny. Like, you're gonna say that to me? I'm a medical professional. You believe in God and God can heal him? Well, you're damn right I do. Absolutely I do. And you know what? He is healing my grandson. My grandson knows sign language, which is a form of talking. Not a lot of words, but he knows a few words so that he can actually communicate with us. And he does speak some words, and they said he would never speak. I am so happy for the pure and simple fact that I love God, honestly. That is the true reason why. And I know that a lot of people have their concerns about who God is, and they may think that I'm disingenuous, and I promise you I'm not. I don't like saying that I'm the nicest person you'll ever meet, because I truly think that my daughter-in-law and my son-in-law are wonderful people, and they have got more patience than I think I've ever had in my life. But I started paying attention more to the things that God does in my life after my grandson. I remember a week before I had to go back to work. Now, I took 3.5 months off. I was out all of June, all of July, all of August, and half of September. After they made me use up my vacation and my PTO for like the first 30 days. And then after that, I went out on FMLA. And a week before I was going back to work, I still had not found somebody to watch Lucas, my grandson. And I wasn't going to put him in a daycare because he was so frail that if he had hit his head at that age, he could have died. He could have hemorrhaged and died. That's how frail he was. So I went online and interviewed a couple of girls that week. And I hired the girl who watched him for the next 2 years after that. 2 days before I ended up going back to work. There are just so many positive things. Oh, hang on a minute. I got to charge my phone. Hang on. Okay. There are so many things that God has done for me in my life. He takes care of me here. I just got divorced 2 days ago. And so when I divorced my youngest son's father, I did it myself. And God knew what was going to happen God knows everything. I mean, come on, let's get real. So he knew what was going to happen. And that's the reason why I believe I ended up doing it myself, was because God knew that I was going to be in a situation where I wasn't going to have the money to pay for an attorney, but I knew how to do it myself, so I could. And I did. My divorce was finalized 2 days ago. My dad, when we moved into this place, we were using my dad's Social Security to pay for the rent. I haven't had my dad's Social Security since February. Since January. So God has been taking care of me. I haven't dated anybody. I will wait for God to bring me somebody if he wants to bring somebody into my life. My selection of men has not been the greatest. I think I've dated 4 narcissists in my life, and I've married 3 of them. Yes, I have been married 3 times and divorced 3 times, and all 3 men were narcissists. But I truly love God. That is why I'm so happy. I am so grateful for everything that he does for me. And I wake up thanking him, and I go to bed thanking him. It's hard to explain to somebody who hasn't walked in my shoes. Because when you see somebody that says, I believe in God, you're thinking somebody who goes to church. And I did go to church a lot of my life. But that's not the God that I believe in. The God that I believe in, I don't believe in there's another God. He's still the same God. But I know he resides inside me. I know what he wants for me. And that's the what's he put in the Bible. He says that he wants good things for his children. And he will take care of anybody who comes against his believers. I believe that because I've seen what's happened to my exes. I've seen what has happened to my exes for going against me. I know God's real. I live every single day by his grace, by his kindness, by his love for me. That is the reason why I share my stories. That is the reason why I get on here. It's not to show people how happy you can be. It's to show people how real he is. I've not always been like I am. I was driven by money. I was part of the system. I thought money was power. It's not. And I spent years of my life thinking that money was power. And it's not. God is power. And when you have God in your heart and you're grateful and you appreciate every single thing that you have, it's so hard not to be happy. I guarantee you that if you look back through your life, every good thing that has happened to you has been because of God. I guarantee it. It doesn't matter how big, how small, God has had a hand in it. My children have a hard time accepting my beliefs. And that's fine. I understand that. I don't push what I believe onto anybody. But I live it. I can live knowing who God is, and it's written all over my face. When you believe that He wants what is best for you, what comes against you doesn't seem so bad. I went through a nearly 13-month separation from my ex. And for the first few months, I wasn't depressed, but I stood in truth. Truth will always overcome the lies. It doesn't matter how long it takes. They will always overcome the lies. People who wanted to say nasty things about me, it doesn't say anything about me, but it says everything about them. It says everything about what they believe and how they view God. Because if they knew God like I did, they'd never say anything bad about a person, because they would know that God comes for those who come after His children. I don't judge people. At least I don't pass judgment upon somebody, regardless of how they have treated me, for one pure reason. Because God has unconditional forgiveness. And when somebody truly walks away from their evil ways and they turn to God, then they become one of His children. And if I have said something negative about them, then He's going to come after me. I have too much going for me. I have too much love in my heart, and I have too much joy in my day to let somebody who wants to give into the darkness to take away my light. They don't give me my joy. Nobody in this world gives me my joy. My God, my joy comes directly from the divine. That is the reason why I am the way that I am. And I hope you guys can appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great night. And listen, think about it. Think about the things that have happened in your life. Think about all the blessings that you've had. Because I guarantee you, 1,000,000%, God took you through every heartache and brought you out on the other side better, regardless of whether you want to accept it or not. But it was God's hand in it. Have a great night, you guys. Bye.